that change of the guard to a degree, I feel like I'm smarter than my mom and my pops.
See, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
Because I love my mom. I don't think I'm smart. I just kind of feel like I'm experiencing in a different way than she is.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, you know, you gotta think she'll never understand what it's like to be an 18-year-old boy anywhere. True. She wouldn't know how to be an 18-year-old boy. Right, you know what I'm saying? Freeport or Chicago. Yeah. She don't know what it's like to be 23 in Atlanta. She doesn't know what it's like to be like 28.
You was 23 in Atlanta?
Yeah. During the MySpace era.
Whoa. Just coming out of Black Planet. Oh, man, dude. Yeah, you had to wear rubbers, man.
Yeah, that's right. It's done.
I know they was lying, talking about they was doubling rubbers, but
yeah, no, you definitely double.
You look like
I want to be safe, but I want to feel some. Come on,
you ain't gotta lie, homies.
Right.
2 rubbers, but go ahead. You know, 23 in Atlanta. But yeah, I get, man, dude.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I put that all together, and granted, look, there are some things that I just don't know, and you know what? To be real, because I know she would love this if she ever sees this. My mom is smarter. She's probably smarter than me out of one thing, because she knows that the naivety of me, of just expecting the best out of everybody. Like I've been finessed out of a few dollars here and there. I've been finessed out of situations, or just maybe like it didn't resonate how stupid I felt until later, because she was like, you know, you trust everybody, you think everybody's your friend, you think she would tell me things like that. It would make me so mad, but then you know what? It still is a guide for me, because like, you know, and the thing is like, you know, she'll always have that over me. She'll always have that over me, and I don't mind it, because I never want to get jaded by people to that degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's my shortcoming, then let it be.
Do you forgive yourself for all that? For your part of, like, not, you know, because it's almost like playing a girl. Like, you know what's coming. You know what you're gonna do to the girl, but she like, oh, you know.
Right.
Like, do you forgive yourself for like just falling for, or just trusting?
I mean, you know what? I do, and that's why I spot situations better. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll never forget, and I know like a few guys, these cats, and I'm sorry, but this is just how she felt, and other people felt that way too. They just told me afterwards, like, everybody was like, if you had moved to Atlanta by yourself, I would have had no worry. But you moved with a group of people, and I was like, she was like, honestly, when I met them, I was like, this ain't the crew to do that with. She's like, but I ain't say anything because you really want to go so bad. My friend, one of my best friends, told me the exact same thing. And I was like, damn. And then you know what? And part of that is why I only stayed for a year. But I didn't stay as long as I could because situations kind of went left. And and you know what? But looking back on that, I should have went super latchkey and been like, no, this, that, and the third, this is how it should lay out, or we not going as a unit, or whatever. I didn't put my foot down in the situation because I wasn't trying to big bro my homies. I wasn't trying to be like, no, I get it.
I don't want to be no bitch ass nigga.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
That stop us.
Yeah,
because you was a burden of genius, right? Ass.
Hey, straight up. And you know how, like, I mean, you got young black men under 25 about to make a move, and you know, you about to tell one of them or two of them, you know, you can't go yet.
That's tough.
You already know how that's gonna rock. You already know how that's gonna rock.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, so like, and my mom, and you know what, and even though, you know, I had to hear about it, I took an earful about it. She was like, Cam, I just knew. She was like, it was just something about that team that you was rocking with. She was like, I just wasn't feeling it. And she was like, but you know what? That's always been you. She's like, you trust people. You trust people. You're kind of naive in that way. And she was like, and now getting it like mid to late 30s now, I understood it more than ever. It was just like, you know, and I think this is just me, more of my grandma and me than anything. It's just like, you know, you just see the good nature in people first. And you know, people be like, you also think nothing can happen to you. And I was like, well, nothing can. Like, I walk around, and it's probably very dangerous, but I don't mind standing with it. I walk around with a certain level of invincibility because I feel like I can survive. But latchkey,
You had to
even the part right, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, even though very small scale, even though I'm a child in a small town, it's like I know some adults that probably, like, if they got left for 6 or 8 hours, they wouldn't know how to navigate in a certain area. And so, like, I have just natural survival instinct, even if it's not like surviving the streets. It's just like, no, just day to day, coastal life. I can get through with comfort.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If everything around me leaves, I'll be decent.
Let me ask you this, because I mean, I can assume or imagine what me or your mom. I'm hearing this story for the first time.
Yeah.
I can imagine what maybe your mom was thinking, like, when you're gone, or why they need you. Why did you need them?
You know what? I mean, I honestly, I didn't feel that I needed anybody, but it was, you know, it was the rap group. It was the team. It was the homies. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like we all
was doing something together.
Right. We had you know what? In hindsight, really, just to keep it a buck, we had a goal but no plan. You know what I'm saying?
It was an expensive hobby then.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Goal but no plan. And it wasn't until I moved back that I really had a plan.
So you needed to go through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to go there with, and them was the perfect people to go through it with.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Right.
But
because you think about it like this, right? We all go down there. That goes to shit, right? But in the process, I meet Jerry Flowers again because he's from my hometown. Jerry Flowers is one of the producers for Keith Sweat's "Make It Last Forever" album.
I love that album.
I get to a chance to go and record in his studio. The 2 songs that I lay there end up being the first 2 songs from my solo mixtape.
Oh shit.
So, like, literally, I go through that whole experience to come back, and I end up getting up with another homie who was about to put out his first project. So we had like 06 now. So, and I'm like, well, bet I got a few joints I can put on there. And I was like, but I'm keeping these 2, the ones I did with Flowers. I was like, because this is going to be for my project. And so, like, between that experience with him and then going to Gremlin Studio, shout to Gremlin Studio out in Aurora, Sam and at the time Toby. I don't know if they're both still there. But that experience with putting together Freedom of Speech, this other mixtape with New York and Renaissance, that set the blueprint for my plan. So with those 2 instances, that allowed me to put together the whole damn show, which was my first mixtape, and then I would go to put out like 3 in 2 years. But I don't do it in Atlanta. I do it back here in Aurora, Chicago.
Okay. Oh wait, so you would go to Atlanta first, then you go to Chicago.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up coming back. Like, so like when we're in Atlanta, we moved the week Jeezy's Third Motivation 101 dropped.
No shit. That's
Right.
Huge. Atlanta was.
Between Jeezy, Snap Music, and then the soon coming, Shorter Lane at that time, because it was ringing off the summer of 05 in Atlanta.
What was your production like? I can't remember. What was you like? How was you in the Snap Music lane,
No.
or the Jeezy lane, or the?
I wasn't in none of that.
Y'all did your own?
Yeah, like we were literally like.
Y'all
like,
like fast rapping or?
No,
Okay.
none of that. So like everything is out the way. Like we out the way, and like we just over here doing our thing. And another valuable lesson, again, we were 23, 24 at this time. So what we're learning is like, yo, everybody trying to move here in rap. Like that's the thing. Like just like moving to New York, moving to LA, moving to Atlanta was a thing then. The Snap Music wave was a real wave. It was a movement. It was a culture. And I didn't want to be a part of that because I felt I rap better than niggas. So I'm not doing it.
I got a mental note. I got to ask him about when you say rap better than niggas. I got a mental note. Did the South kill rap? That was a question, Joe Budden. But we'll get to that.
Oh, okay, back.
That's a Facebook question. I'm gonna mention it later. Go ahead.
But so like, but you know what? Those experiences though, it allowed me to come back. So when I came back to Chicago, one of my homies hooked me up with a job. They had a branch in Atlanta, but I ended up getting hired to one at Oak Brook. So I moved back, and that was the most money I ever made at the time. So that afforded me studio time. and just, duplication. I was pressing up CDs and all of that,
man.
getting my studio time together. So I was like, yo, I'm about to really make a push and do these things. And you know what? I enjoyed it, but my plan was literally like, I just want to put out projects, and I want to do shows. Like literally, I don't know, this might sound crazy because everybody's like, well, you obviously trying to get a record deal at this point. No, I can't really say I was. Because, the one time, I won't lie, one time we went to New York, Labor Day weekend of like 2007, and I was like trying to go to G Unit Studios and Def Jam and like throw these packages into like to their mail, but I felt kind of like a sucker doing it. I was like, well man, why not just do this bikini car wash in Aurora, hand out my CDs there, and I was decent. Like I was performing at open mics or beauty salons, and I was cool with it. Like I show up to a studio session, Will Cypher, I go to Blue Note or Buddha Lounge and perform, and that was cool. I was cool, and I wasn't even making money then, and I was fine with doing that. That literally was it. So like, yeah, I probably took my hobby more serious than everybody else. But like that was it. Now granted, I hated retail so much, I hated working a regular job so much that I would have wanted something to happen where I could have made money. But thinking about it now, if I would have been Tier C, just putting out projects and getting enough to pay the
Banging on lunch tables.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Like if I had made enough just to do that,
Tier C ain't a bad career.
Absolutely not.
Take
like,
Tier C.
Like Tier C, man, you might still get 6 figures out of there if you're playing the game right with endorsements and shows. You get it on a few festival stages. You're eating pretty nice. I don't disrespect Tier C at all. Like honestly, I think that's the most comfortable space to be in.
Talib in Tier C.
What's up?
Talib in Tier C.
Oh yeah, he definitely there. He'll never come out.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Okay, so all right, so now you in Aurora in Chicago. Now is Chicago or like Aurora, Chicago? Is it a culture shock? Anything? Because like we got a way about ourselves here. We're not really together in terms of like we it's a crab in a bucket. It's a crab in a bucket anywhere, but here it's like it can be tough. You know what I'm saying?
We know what. Well, first let me preface it, like, because I know people do be getting confused. Like I've never lived in the city of Chicago a day in my life.
Okay.
I just would go there. I had homies that lived there. Cousins that would live near the area, or we would go kick it. Like,
but you got to build with us still.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
We travel the suburbs all the time.
Right. Absolutely. So don't get me wrong. Everybody I knew in Chicago, I met through the hip hop circuit. So like the first show I ever did was at Buddha Lounge.
Oh, I love Buddha Lounge.
So you know what I'm saying. So and that was what 01. Yeah, 2001. So and that was like Buddha Lounge. I was part of like Deluxe Entertainment. That group or whatever, and there ain't really no stage there. So like I took 2 little steps off. It was only like about 20 of us in there. I got in the crowd, did my thing, and those moments, and I know people don't want to hear it that are like on the, I guess we would call it the capitalist side of just art and entertainment. But like,
that's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's return to that one day, but go ahead.
Absolutely. Like I enjoyed those moments. Like I don't know what my goal was, honestly. I don't know what it was. I can't say it was a record deal. I would have loved to have been on Def Jam because I bought a lot of Def Jam albums, right? But I never really actively pursued a record deal like that. I was cool with, okay, I learned how to put out projects. I was able to do a show a month, sometimes 2, even though I wasn't getting paid for a lot of them. And you know what I'm saying? I had access to the type of girls that I wanted to have sex with. Like that was it. And I was like, only thing I was missing was an advance. Only thing I was missing was a platinum plaque. And I was like, but if I'm rapping, doing shows, and having sex, do I need a record deal? Like it kind of really, it never occurred to me. And I know the stigma is, man, a lot of you rappers were suckers before the deal, and girl, I don't have the experience. Girls liked me. I knew how to make a couple dollars. I was always reasonably cool. Like, now granted, I wasn't class president, I wasn't the jock, I wasn't the coolest guy in my high school. I'm not saying that at all. But the people that liked me liked me or loved me, and I was really cool amongst them. And so I've always had a way, and maybe it's just being a latchkey to a degree and circling all the way back. I've always just been able to create my own world, and in my world, I'm the shit.
Right.
In any facet.
As you should be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter where I'm at, like, I'm the shit. So I don't need validation from, like, you know, the cool of cool, like, you know, the Fonz and Dolomite ain't gonna come down and knight me, be like, yo, man, yo, you that nigga. Like, no, I know I am. It's cool if those people over there in that place I don't go often, it's cool if they don't know. I know.
Right.
So I've always been very just self-secure and self-aware in that aspect. So where, like, you know, I can't say like, man, you know, my dream was never to be like, yo, man, you know, we're about to do this meeting with Russell and, you know, Russell about to give us that deal or Diddy. And like, and I wanted to be Diddy in high school. And it was never like, yeah, I want to be on Bad Boy. That's my dream. That's my goal. It was like, nah, I kind of got to the process without all of that. So, and that's why I encourage the young cats now. It was like, look, man, if you can make a few $100s, you know, first couple years doing shows, and you can use that to do more shows, you can do that to put out a project, why are you really sweating signing to like Interscope or anywhere or Atlantic or any label? Like if you become self-sufficient and you the man where you at, get that tax-free money before they take it from you.
Now, I got a question for you. Like, you ever thought about doing a Coach K thing? Like, well, not Coach K in college basketball.
Like, tell Coach K you want to play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know, honestly, I do. Honestly, I do think about it. Cause
you know the dirt. You know the.
Thank you. You know what? I think about it, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I want to believe in whoever that artist is as much as I believe in myself. And to be real, and this is no disrespect, because there's a lot of you young guys that I truly do fuck with. I'm not saying I don't fuck with y'all when I say this, but it's like, I want to believe in y'all like I believed in myself when Run the C and I put together Freedom of Speech. I want to believe in y'all like I did when I put out Thank You, I Tried. And me and my guy Mitch was sitting around. He was like, "Yo, man, this is a fucking classic." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?"
So
but
there needs to be some skill.
Yeah.
There needs to be a certain type of skill and a certain type of work ethic.
It's got to be something where I'm like, "Yo, no, I feel great about this," because the thing is, I felt so great about it, I would perform anywhere. I didn't care if you didn't like rap music. I didn't care if your favorite rapper was Jay-Z or Nelly or Ja Rule, and I didn't do that kind of music. I didn't care what you were into. I was so confident in my ability, and I believed in myself so much that I'm like, boy, look, check out this shit I did. You know what I'm saying? It's called Jimmy Swagger, and I'll get into my rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to believe in something like that, and you know, and maybe it's just the artist creator in me that won't allow me to feel that way about somebody else. I've also come to grips with that reality too. But if I'm going to invest like my time, fuck money. If I'm going to invest my time and my energy to maybe taking somebody to the ultimate dream sequence of, you know, artist in my view, I gotta fuck with you like I fuck with me. That's my thing. You know.
That's interesting, man. Like, cause I mean, like I said, you know all the ins and outs from just doing it underground.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, I mean, like, you were an artist, so I mean, I guess, well, I mean, cause they was just having this conversation about people who were artists don't really do well in the business part of it. Maybe L.A. Reid. Somebody mentioned L.A. Reid, and that's a great. Jay-Z did okay.
Right.
He did pretty good. I mean,
right.
Rihanna, Neo.
But you know what?
But L.A. Reid kind of helped that too, so.
But I think, and I don't know, people probably want to kill me for this, but it is what it is. Jay-Z was terrible as a label head.
Oh, okay.
But as Roc Nation management, they're doing great.
Oh, okay. So you talking about the Def Jam? Def Jam?
Yeah.
Because I know Joe Budden's had some issues with him.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people, like even LL Cool J, like had an issue with it. You know what I'm saying?
LL dissed him.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an issue. And you know what? Running labels, because I'll say it like this, from my end as a creator, above else, sometimes you got the stuff you can't teach. So how do you sell that? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you know, Jordan may be your favorite in-game player, but nothing's going to change the fact that he picked Kwame Brown, the first pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's never going to change that. And why? Because he saw some of himself in him. How? And we're looking like how?
Yeah.
How?
How long you been an owner now? We going to 10, 12?
I want to say
It got to be 7, at least.
yeah, it was 7 now.
It's 2019, dude. 10 years ago was 2009.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheesh.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
man. So yeah, you think about that. It's like, you know, a lot of people just can't. Like now, granted, now I think he's showing it even with the young kids, even though he's catching flack. But like Kobe, I think is going to be a great coach because Kobe is the first person that I've seen score more than 50 points consistently, and his team still won and blew teams out. Like granted, and I lived the Jordan era, but I want to say if it's I don't know if it's 03, 04, or 04, 05. But whatever season it was when he scored the 81 on Jalen and had all those strings of 50 and 60 point games in a row, that's probably the greatest offensive performance I've seen from any player in my life.
Wow.
And the thing is, oddly enough, that can be taught. That can be taught. Now, will another person definitely score 81? Who knows? But you can teach that level of desire and work ethic. Well, you can instill it. Where it turns to be intangible, who knows? But like picking talent is so subjective, and a lot of people have talent and it's never used properly. Some people have potential and it never matures into certain things. It's like talent and work ethic it's just a different ball game. So like I'll never ask Jay-Z or Michael Jordan to pick talent, but I will definitely choose like a Kobe Bryant to be like, no, I want people in the game. I want people in the grind.
Yeah.
I want
the work ethic.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Kobe
saying?
has, you can see that problem.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Dan
saying?
Jordan had a killer work ethic too.
Right, absolutely. He also had it. But they want him to judge talent.
Yeah.
It's like,
He might not be good at that.
Exactly. It's like, man, he may not know shit about talent, but like he could be like, yeah, I was a lot like that when I was his age. But what did you do though?
And
that's the difference.
It could be even more to it than just talent. It could be like I don't even want to get into the conspiracy theory. Let me just say this though. This is kind of changing the subject a little.
Okay, let's go.
If Isaiah Thomas was from Freeport and he took down Jordan, Bird, Magic, and could have four-peated almost.
Yeah.
But he took down Jordan twice
True.
with Pippen.
No, true.
If he was from Freeport, would he be the best player?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying about Isaiah. He's from the West Side. Why would I go against the West Side?
No, that's true.
I'm sorry to change. I just had to get because you mentioned Jordan. And I saw what he was going to talk about. Mention it. I just want to ask that one question. If he's from Freeport, is he the greatest player? Is he the GOAT?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like we would definitely say no different. Like that would be the story around the way. They'd be like, nah, like we had the Kingston and talking like, yo, man, Isaiah from over there on Ottawa, I used to bust Jordan ass. Like that's literally what it is. Like you'll be surprised how respected like Terry Cummins is from where I'm from.
Terry Cummins from the West Side too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Terry Cummins' legend is even in Freeport. I think
what happened in Freeport with him?
Well, I'm not even. Y'all gotta help me out on this if you were like one of the OGs.
It's not bad.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna say I think he dunked on my pops. I think he dunked on my pops at the Y, and my pops was like, "Why don't you do Jordan like that, motherfucker?" It's actually a story that I learned like at the past family reunion that we just had in July. I want to say it was my pops that he dunked on. But hey, it's Terry Cummins. He's in the NBA. That should happen.
That's actually a good comeback from your dad.
Right.
Like you just doing this to regular niggas.
Right, yeah. It's like, of course you don't know me, nigga. Like, what about Michael Jordan?
You get with me. You on the same court. Why?
Right.
Go do that to Jordan.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if that was definitely my pops, or if that's true. That's the story I heard. I'll wear it because hey, it's Terry Cummins. I'm like, look, if an NBA player do you in, and you are who you are, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's like nothing can do about it.
It's just 2 points, man.
Right, exactly.
Terry Cummins been dunked on many a time. He's gonna take it and Go down the court.
Exactly,
Yeah, man.
exactly.
That's all I be want to say. Like, people be mad at me because I be on this Isaiah Thomas stuff. And I don't know what this wave of Jordan stuff that changed with me. Like, man, that dude was the god back in the day. But yeah, I don't know, man. I can't go with West Side, man. Like,
and you know what? And honestly, man, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Jordan, I think he was born in Brooklyn and he was raised in North Carolina. But you know, because I remember not really being the biggest fan during the Jordan era, because my favorite player was Larry Johnson.
that dude was cold.
You know what I'm saying?
Charlotte?
Yeah.
Wait, UNL? Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my guy.
Yeah.
Was Larry Johnson. So, but you know, Jordan started building the stigma that Chicago got the best hoopers. I was like, but damn, he ain't from here at all. Like, he ain't even from the state of Illinois.
Right.
It's not like Derrick Rose.
Right.
Or like, you know what I'm saying? Or, what's my man, Jabari Parker or Kevin Garnett even.
Right.
It's not even like that. It's like, y'all really basing off the dude that got drafted here that Chicago got the best hoopers or whatever. Not that Chicago got no hoopers. Don't get it fucked up.
Yeah,
You'll get your ass bust out here. But
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, no.
Hey, bro, niggas will fight over that.
right, yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm not even trying, like, hooping is not even my thing like that.
And I'm in the camera, so I gotta help you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't no sense of just you getting your ass beat by yourself. But
Right. But yeah, but it was just like, but what I'm getting to with that, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all stay with us, is that the stigma, the allure, the presence of what Michael Jordan was, he was thorough enough on the court to rep an entire city, a entire mindset of hooper, not even from here, overshadowing a legendary, should-be gold medalist, two-time NBA champion hooper like Isaiah Thomas, who actually from here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we never, like, well, I'm gonna say during that first three-peat era, it was never mentioned like, man, Chicago got the best hoopers, nigga, Isaiah Thomas, ... It was always, man, come on, man, we got Jordan on the Bulls. It was like, Jordan didn't even play college ball out here. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just that mystique, that aura, like, and honestly, we'll never see nothing like it. The kind of conversations that people had stemming from just Jordan, we'll never see again.
Maybe, but I will say this, like, that's why, like, when I argue about rap or entertainment at all, I'm starting to see, looking back, because I get a chance to look back at all that, it's about moments, man. Like, it's not really about, like, you know, like, Mos Def can have the greatest albums ever, but it's the moment, like, it's like where you were, or you remember Hit 'Em Up, you remember, you know, when Biggie put out,
Ready to Die?
well, what's the, Who Shot You?
Oh, you're talking about the records.
Or the song, or the little album we did with Junior Mafia. You know, you kind of remember those little things. You know what I'm saying? It's about moments. You know what I'm saying? Jordan got so many moments.
But you know, and the reason why I say it never again is because, like for instance, like LeBron has ruled the better part of a decade.
Even with losing.
Right, even with losing.
Was weird.
And have you yet heard a conversation about how Cleveland hoop got the best hoopers?
No.
No. You ain't never heard it. You might never heard it. You never be like, man, these niggas in Cleveland can really ball. And literally, the guy who is the guy in the NBA, win or lose, from Akron, played in his home state, won a title with another team, came back, won a title there now, and we never talk about Cleveland hoopers. Steph Curry's jumper is out of this world. To me, already, he's the greatest shooter of the basketball of all time. We're not talking about how North Carolina dudes can hoop that don't go to the school.
No, that's true. But there's a legacy that preceded Michael Jordan before he came there, like, you know, the Simeon, the Simeon schools. Well, Simeon wasn't really, well, they were pretty big. King, you know what I'm saying? The Chicago high school hoop scene was you know what I'm saying? We got stories. We got, man, if you've been there, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s to see that, I mean, it's just great stuff, man. But
I mean, you think somehow him winning in Chicago attached himself to that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. Like that's why I say, you know, we'll never see that again, because the conversations, like, now everybody's like, yo, man, we just want to get everybody for this great AAU team, versus like, no, the best basketball players in the world right now are from Chicago. Like that was a legit conversation in the '90s, and a lot of it was stemming because people watched Michael Jordan play at the it was really just the Chicago Arena before it was the UC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like literally it's stemming from that. I was in the Market Square Arena, which was Indiana.
Let me ask you this too. I've been because people talk about '80s versus '90s versus the early 2010s or 2000s. Like just not even just in general. Just I mean, this is a tough question, but because I don't know if you can answer it. But like 2020, what do you think is gonna change with life? Because 2010 to 2020, 2000 to 2010 was different.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really describe why. I just remember Ludacris. I remember Little Brother. You know, I remember Kobe them doing it a couple times, like in the entertainment field.
Yeah.
But 2010, like I just remember Drake. I remember Heavy Drake. You know, Kendrick came in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now we got LeBron with the Heat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now 2020 is up. Kawhi just ended this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
The last NBA champion.
Something's going on in rap right now. I can't put. I see like Griselda coming up. I see it seems like it's about bars, like a little bit more now, like where they're getting a little bit more. Like Griselda going against Shannon Sharp. Like this is different. This is a different type of underground. Like they not. This is not 1996.
Right. It's not.
You know, Griselda not in that type of field. Like, do you see anything? Do you see technology changing or something? Can you predict anything? It's a dumb question, but I'm just asking.
No, it's not a dumb question at all.
Weird because
Sure.
everything's changing.
As far as technology, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I never, and this is even back in 06, 07 when my man's pulled up with the first iPhone. I never thought I would even own an iPhone.
Really?
Because I was like, oh man, I don't really need a phone that I can take pictures with like that. I don't really need a phone that I can play music off of like that. Like I really didn't feel I would ever need it. Mm-hmm. And now, if I lost my phone, I'm literally cut off from the whole section of the world that's not around me.
That's crazy.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's literally, 13 years ago now?
Yeah.
I said that?
Yeah.
So, technology, I don't know. My prediction for music, though, is that the age gap broadens, like, tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, you'll see kids doing music, and you'll see grown-ass men and women doing music. Mm-hmm. Like, and I mean, I know, and I don't mean like the 52 Savages and things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out 52.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Respect to him. But like, that was like a passing thing. Like, you know, he's a DJ at the end of the day. He's a DJ and he's doing his thing. And he uses promo run to get some nice teeth and do his thing. So respect to that brother. You know what I'm saying? But I think like you'll see rappers like in their 40s. Mm-hmm. I think that
making hits, like
like you know, and even like making hits, and also just having sustainable careers. Mm-hmm. Just because, like I was joking, but I was kind of dead ass serious. I was like, I think I'll start rapping again at 40. Like, mm-hmm. and I'll just be an underground rapper. Like and it's no different from being what Tech Nine is or MF Doom, no matter how old he is. Like Blue and Exile, you know, like. The atmosphere, like there's a lot of guys. Murs is in his 40s, and I think he put out one of the best projects of this year.
Yeah. I like the one before that. I like the one before that too. It was
you know what I'm saying? Like Lil Brother, you know, Fontaine and Pooh are 40 and 40, like 2 or 3 or something like that. So like there's a space for it. I think technology in itself, the internet in itself is, you know, eliminating ageism across all boards. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, I mean, when the funnel gets broken and product spills everywhere, people just gonna grab containers and get what they can.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this, it's like we come into a decade where literally the phrase "nothing can stop you" it's breathing now. It's common sense. It's tomorrow is Wednesday. It's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, who's going to really stop you when you have the ability to, one, produce any product that you want from the comfort of your own home.
Right.
Especially being like music product. And then when you can literally build your own platform and your own avenue to distribute yourself. Like, I would have loved to be 24 to 28
in this time,
because all my mixtapes would have been a lot cheaper. I probably would have did twice as many shows, and and I definitely would have did shows out of state.
Right.
I definitely would have did shows out of state. And I would have definitely got myself on at least 3 festivals. I'm not saying it would have been Lollapalooza or Coachella or Bonnaroo, but I would have got on at least 3 festivals.
So then live music is where it's gonna be at then.
Absolutely.
Or it's probably where it's at now.
The one thing that's never gonna die, and y'all can quote me on this, is live music. Even with streaming, and I threw this idea out here. Now I got it on camera, so now we're gonna timestamp this. I said this earlier in the summer. I said everybody's always got their cameras up at shows, right? They're trying to capture their moment, trying to stream live on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, right? What's going to happen when one artist decides that they're going to stream their world tour with only like 3 dates? And it's the 3 cities that they from, and they 2 best markets.
And then they make it like a Wu-Tang album with this art.
Not even that. They literally stream it.
Yeah, I'm not saying blood like where it's kind of scarce.
Okay, no, absolutely. So check it out. To go into what you're saying, right? So between those 3 performances, they stream all 3, and maybe whether it's an outfit change or a special guest or another whatever. But the point is, they'll end up streaming it for a premium, so that now everybody got it. So now not only do they get their show money in off top within 3 shows, y'all get the show that y'all gonna throw all over Instagram or Facebook anyway, or on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And you get the 3 moments, because at max 20 city tour, we talk about 3 moments anyway. And I think that's going to become the thing. Like, now granted, I don't know if it's going to be Beyonce or Taylor Swift or Eminem. I don't know who's going to do it.
Oh, this is interesting, because now Netflix can pick that up, or someone that's trying to take Netflix down, Amazon can pick up someone like Travis Scott doing his,
Or to further put the foot on the necks of y'all, Jay-Z gonna do it for Tidal.
Yeah, I ain't even thinking about Tidal. That'll be.
I'm really trying to see the play before it happens, but I can see like, it's like, nah, we're not doing this road shit. But then again, that's why I think Tier C, underground hip hop specifically, independent circuits is never gonna die, because like some people actually do want to go to a show and have their phone down for about an hour, rock out. Like, there's nothing that you can, replace that intimate experience of being there. Some people are trying to capture moments, but some people really do love live music.
Yeah.
You love live music, you love live entertainment, so that's why venues never close. I'm hoping to be fortunate enough to own a venue, and nothing like 10,000 seats, 300 to 500 joint. That's what I want. Because I know the aspect of live entertainment is so important. I know that people like those moments, like you said, working for Live Nation too, especially. I've seen so many moments the last 3 years. I'm like, yeah, that's never gonna die. Like, I've listened to new albums because I've been here. I've respect old artists and new artists, or found the respect for them because they do what they do live. So that's never going to change. You're always going to need a great show. And if you got a great product with a great show, honestly, in my personal opinion, you'll never be broke in the music industry. You'll never be broke.
Or if you can DJ good.
Absolutely. and DJ good is not subjective. There is one way to DJ, and it's great.
Shout out to Grandmaster Flash for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely, man.
And I do want to. Can we get to this Jay-Z topic? Because I just want to see what you think about it.
Let's do it.
We mentioned him.
Let's do it. Jay-Z, let's go.
So with Jay-Z, I think you had mentioned something on Facebook saying you don't know why people question billionaires or something.
Stop trying to understand billionaire moves.
Billionaire moves.
Yeah.
And then I had questioned why. Because I was thinking like, okay, so my thing with Jay-Z is that, like, I love him. I don't trust. It's like you have a girl told me, yeah, I don't trust. I trust you. I don't trust her. Like, and it's really a lie. I partly don't trust Jay-Z too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the girl kind of don't trust you either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I trust him. I like Jay-Z. Like, I like his rapping. You know what I'm saying? and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And as a fan, seeing him do what he said he was gonna do, as a capitalist program fan,
Right.
this nigga said he was gonna do this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not talking about the NFL shit, but I'm talking about like,
yeah, no,
I'm just 100 million man, motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You can bullshit with rap if you want, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In a year or two now, we gonna see what's up.
Man.
I'll be in the cut.
And from listening, and from buying that tape, just like, I'm gonna try this dude Jay-Z out. And just like liking that to he's that person.
Yeah.
So as a rap fan, I'm like, man, I gave him some props for being a billionaire. I said, look, and I said in the Facebook post, you know, I got a lot of criticism of him,
Mm-hmm.
but as a rap fan,
Yeah.
capitalist little kid, latchkey kid,
Right.
seeing that shit is
Right.
inspiring. Like,
Absolutely.
and it's very inspiring. Now, of course, you know, like my criticism of him is, you know, like, he is a capitalist. You know that New Jersey Nets thing. It's good. You know, good. Brooklyn, I get it. You did it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't cancel you or nothing like that. It's good. You know what I'm saying? And with the cap thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even really about cap. It's about the NFL. Like, they whiteball a player. You know what I'm saying? And they are, and he just, you know, he going with them, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about business at the end of the day. But at the end of it, if you a bit as a worker, as a person that works for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm more for worker rights, and this is a worker issue to me. So, you know, a league white balling a player, it just strikes me as like, you know, do the deal if you're gonna do it. You know, you're not canceled, in my opinion.
Right.
But it's like, it's more to this. Like there's a network group. You know, like these white people seem like they with Trump.
Okay.
They seem like they with silencing the worker.
Right.
I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? They seem like, you know, they're with the owners are with the more so the GOP, the conservative party, than they are with than with workers' rights. And when you're with the conservative party, it seems like, to me, from the outside looking in, it seems like they are against workers' rights, against unions, against helping the poor. You know what I'm saying? Even though they do give to charities, but even that can be looked at as tax write-offs or whatever.
It's like the patriotism that they do every year.
You know, yeah. So I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But my thing with Jay is like, man, dude, like these dudes might not be the bed you need to get in. Maybe 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? I know you deal with athletes, you know, all over. You know, you got athletes that you work with the CCA. I don't know if that's the company he works with. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, just look at what these guys. Just look at who you in bed with, because you know when it's time when this Epstein stuff come out, and if that Patriots owner is a part of this, and you know you got your arms around these people, they taking one of ours. You know what I'm saying?
I dig it.
And I just want them to be safe. And you know, I say, look, make your money though if that's what you're gonna do. But I think this was a bigger point that you could have made by not dealing with them. With that way. But,
So dig it. So I don't mean to answer your question with a question, because I just wanted to segue into my first statement. So I'm going to answer the question first, like about whole white ball and the Kaepernick and the worker issue, right? So first question I got is, in the, I guess it would be like the all-time or the pantheon, I guess, of black quarterbacks. To start there, where does Colin Kaepernick rank for you?
Let's see, we talking Kaepernick. I don't think he in my top 17 of black quarterbacks.
Okay.
Ever.
So right now, so off top, we already got Kaepernick at number 11.
That's
for
damn
back.
good black quarterbacks, though.
Right.
I do want to say that.
You're right, and thank you. That's the very first point I want to drive home. So we're looking at maybe 11 at best right now, just off the top of your head, as far as black quarterbacks. Because I'm definitely putting Randall Cunningham, Steve McNair, or Warren Moon. Yeah, maybe not Cordell Stewart, but definitely, like, you know what I'm saying. Maybe not Jameis now, but you know what I'm saying. But like there's some, but you know, we've established that he definitely is not a top 5 black quarterback. Okay, right now. So now we'll just go his era. which would be the 2010s,
Mm-hmm.
is or has Colin Kaepernick been a top 10 quarterback of his era?
A couple years, yeah.
Okay.
That year he went to the them 2 years he went to the Super Bowl, especially when that Wildcat offense was out.
No.
Like, it was built. The NFL was built for him when he came out.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Wildcat offense, aka the read option.
Mm-hmm.
You know who also excelled a lot in that?
Who?
Tim Tebow.
Okay. Tim Tebow got gypped, by the way. He's supposed to be playing. My opinion, though.
And I'm not wrong with you. I mean, I don't think you're wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But also Russell Wilson
Mm-hmm.
benefited very well. RG3
Mm-hmm.
benefited a lot from that. And then the NFL figured it out. And then what happened? Russell Wilson won Super Bowls and everybody else not starting, not in the NFL, I'm sorry, or hurt. Right? That's what happened.
That being said, though, Kaepernick is a Super Bowl quarterback. He didn't win it.
Right.
You know, Cam Newton's a Super Bowl quarterback. He didn't win it.
Right.
I mean, that season.
Jim Kelly's a Super Bowl quarterback, and
Right.
he didn't win any of them.
But he got the respect.
Right. And
He got the respect of a Super Bowl quarterback.
true.
You get at least 3-4 years, to sit on that Super Bowl.
But the thing is, when your decline in that 4 years is obvious, imminent, undeniable,
But
what do
then-
you do?
Okay, but the team declined too. Like, I mean, Cap was still better than a lot of quarterbacks,
But
even with a
there's-
bad team.
There's 32 quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he definitely better than 17?
That can be argued. I can probably fit them in. I mean,
But
but this is where we gotta look at stats and stuff.
Right. But to your point, because that's the real issue. Because honestly, if Kaepernick's resume was Drew Brees's, he'd be in the NFL, in my opinion. It's my opinion.
And if Drew Brees is black, he kneels, and he doesn't get white ball.
No, because Drew Brees is the fucking man. Drew Brees throws for about 4,000 yards a season. Like, even when he's not in the Super Bowl picture, he's a stat machine. There's a lot of players that we have no idea who a lot of people are on the New Orleans Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the magical season after Katrina and all of that. But the bottom line is, you look at Drew Brees' stats for just as an example. If he knelt and it was before police brutality or whatever, you can really do anything. Like that. That's why, you know what? That's why I want to say, maybe a year and a half ago, they were wondering what Aaron Rodgers felt about it, what Tom Brady felt about it. Because you know why? When the elite players feel away that can have influence on and off the field, it does carry more weight.
So productivity matters to your.
Absolutely. And you know what? When we're dealing with sports, when we're dealing with corporations, your productivity matters. It matters a big deal. That's why, Snoop and 50 Cent can smoke weed and slander and call people any kind of names they want and still lock in corporate deals. And why Kevin Hart had the option to apologize or not and be good with the Oscars, even though he ended up doing it, versus maybe why, I hate to put somebody under the bus on this, but a Bow Wow couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like there comes a time where you become a brand they can trust, a name they can trust. Your productivity is what it is. Like even with the whole AB situation. Now, granted, he's an elite receiver, but he's also unexpected. But Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Chad Ochocinco, if they were to kneel in their primes, I guarantee it wouldn't be as big of a deal. And I'll use black players specifically because you know why? At more than just one magical season, those guys were number one or top three at what they did. Mm-hmm. And there's no argument. It's no argument. A guy like Randy Moss, Mr. I play when I want to play. And still managed to get to 2 Super Bowls. Never won one, but he managed to get to 2. And, you know, and his production was never in question. His attitude, if he liked the coaches or players was, and, you know, T.O., his divisiveness in the locker room, all of that mattered, right? But, you know, when we have Hall of Fame conversations, everybody says one thing, whether they love him or hate him: the numbers are there. The numbers are there. And that's what we care about.
How long has he been a quarterback in the NFL? Since what? 2010, right?
Yes, you know what? And I want to say, yeah.
2012, I think.
Because and people got to remember this, and this is for the casual fans that maybe not know, and they're just trying to hop on the, you know, the crusade of truth and justice. And I totally get it. I'm not trying to diminish it at all. But Kaepernick started on the bench. You know, he
started behind
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, right?
So the safe game managing Alex Smith, quarterback who nobody has in their top 10 either, was the guy that he was behind. Now, I say all that to kind of just frame it and kind of recalibrate it for people, only because I think people are making the Jay-Z, well, the Rock Nation NFL deal, I want to frame it right. I think they're making that bigger than what it is, because had he not been a backup quarterback that got his start, that then lost his start, we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, but I guess I want to push back just a little because, like, once again, like, he didn't do anything illegal. He kneeled.
True.
Because he said it first, but then he kneeled.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? And then the NFL, see, well, this is why I don't trust the NFL. The NFL knows that first of all, we got other shit to do. We're not really watching the games.
Right.
They got CTE head issues. You know, people killing people, you know, they blame it on CTE.
Right,
like,
themselves.
that's a bad PR issue.
Word.
You got people knocking out their wife.
Absolutely.
On camera and then playing in game 7.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You got the game change. It's a passing league now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they just got so many issues, and they kind of use Kaepernick to hide these other issues. And I just kind of feel like Jay-Z, when it goes down, Jay-Z gonna sink on that ship with him. You know, and it's a workers issue. Like, they have mad workers issue anyway with the whole head thing.
Right, yeah.
You know, so if you're not gonna listen to even consider a guy that's kneeling over shit. I mean, me and you black,
Right,
and I already know. I can't assume for you, but I'm gonna assume that when you get stopped by the police, you making sure everything is
absolutely
on the up and up. You got your paperwork. You know, we got to worry about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It can happen to me or you.
Absolutely.
And some of the stuff, you know, like, it don't happen every day. I don't even want to say good or bad cops. There's some good actors out here.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, if Jay gonna link himself to that, you know what I'm saying, then he got to be, like me and you said, like, we got to want that smoke when it comes. Now, Jay-Z did a lot. We shouldn't even have to question, if Jay-Z, he done enough to where he can say, I ain't helping no more. And we like, hey, he did do this, he did do that. I get it. But what the problem is like Obama, we got to hold his feet to the fire.
Okay.
You know, we needed Cornel West and what's the other dude that was on
Tavis Smiley.
And Tavis Smiley to say, hey, look, you know, they got held for it.
Right.
I'm glad I didn't cancel.
Especially since they're quiet now, and that's my thing.
But who's quiet now?
Tavis and Cornel.
Cornel's back.
Oh, he's finally back.
Tavis got into some trouble with a woman. Cornel's back hard. You know, he not dissing nobody. He just basically saying, like, look, it's about the worker. It's about the people. You know what I'm saying? That's who Cornel West is. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, you know, and I truly understand it, and I agree with it. But I challenge everybody to answer this one question, though. Even if we're all in agreement, when is the last time a corporation has ever cared about people?
And that's what we got to change.
Yeah,
because we the people. We work for these corporations.
Right. Now, let's see if we're in the same wavelength with this. How do we change it? Because there is a way.
There's a way. We got to break the system. It's too much privatization. It's too much, like, corporations and government go together too much. And then when you put the church in there, they all a network. You know what I'm saying? If we don't, I mean, you see they cutting hours. 30 hours is a new full-time job,
Right.
Basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're not going over 30 hours. Everybody's getting part-time jobs. Everybody's on contract. And it's because they can deregulate everything.
Yeah.
They can buy up everything. Hey, you a small business. I see Gary Vee and all people telling you can hustle this, to hustle that. Hey, you better have the right people around. It's hard owning a small business.
And that's,
And Amazon's eating everything up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're right. And that's the thing. I mean, the gift and the curse of all of this is this. The good and the bad, the ugly, the toxic is this. You're either going to start your own business or be a part of somebody else's business. And that's just, and no matter what, you better be great at what you do, or else it's going to be difficult out here for you to do what you want. To tie this back all in to, maybe Kaepernick being treated unfairly and me bringing it to maybe being a production issue first, even though it's uncomfortable to say that. My man's Adam, and I might have shared this story on the first episode, so I apologize if I do that, but it's important that I bring it up. I was in an English class. It was like my 7th period class. Miss Armesto, that was a teacher.
She was cute.
No, I just remember her
She
name.
sounded like
Yeah,
cute.
you know, the 90s teachers were old. They wasn't like, you had like one maybe student teacher that was decent.
Yeah, you hope you got up.
Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, shout out to Miss Green. She was dope. I wonder what she's doing now. I would literally go in her class and go to sleep before the bell even rung sometimes. Before the passing bell would ring, I would go to sleep in that class. But we get up, take this English test or the spelling test, I get an A. Go right back to sleep. One day, a young lady in our class tried to pull one of my moves. I'm tired, I'm gonna go to sleep. Miss Armesto woke her up. It was like, hey, no sleeping in class. She was like, Cameron goes to sleep in this class all the time. Every day he's sleeping here. Yeah, but Cameron has an A.
Okay.
And my A was like 105% at that.
Okay.
So, yeah, system is fucked up. But if you're on your shit and if you're next level with it, you'll be awarded some things that ain't awarded to everybody.
And I get that, but the problem I have, what I would push back is that, like, what Kaepernick is going through is what a lot of little people that have no voice is going through.
True, fact.
And so, like, if you can silence somebody at the top, at the quote greatest league, imagine how many people getting silenced and bought out and on the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's symbolic. Everything. We're in a hyper real world where everything is symbolic. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna silence Cap for speaking facts, and we young people love to say facts,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just imagine the worker that's sitting at home that's getting his hours cut because the corporation didn't grow as much, because that's the first thing they do is fire
Absolutely.
people. They
At
cut
the bottom.
wages, when they got to get their stocks looking whatever they need.
They cut the most expensive and the least expendable or most expendable.
Yeah.
But basically the middle and the bottom. That's what get cut.
Right, and so like that's a worker issue. That's a worker issue, and it's sad because we got to change the system. Like everybody's in bed with all this money, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not helping us. It's not helping me or you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
On the other hand, if we were business owners, will we have to treat people like that? Will
No,
we have
you
to
don't.
silence them? You know what I'm saying? And if we don't, if we up there, if we NFL owners, if we don't, they should.
Well, at the surface, not even at the surface, when we get to the premise, I agree with you. But unfortunately, because I, worked for corporations and I'm a part of business operations management, and I always felt that I don't give a fuck what the company did. This is what I brought to the table. I should get my raise, and I couldn't because the market was down. Though I was like, or those times where I know the work I put in got other people bonuses and I didn't get shit, not even free lunch. That's where my lack of sympathy kicks in to a degree. Now, granted, I totally agree. Worker issue. I totally agree with, corporations, these giants shouldn't do that. The little people should not, succumb. But also, though, man, I just really believe that no matter what we do, there should be a standard of excellence attached to it. Unfortunately, the people that are getting fucked over the most are the people that just want to get by. The people that, hey, I just want to go to my 9 to 5 or my 11 to 7 and just do my shit and go home. And it's like,
And why do they want to get by, you think?
Because honestly, the conditioning of the school system, if I'm being honest.
And the government runs a school system.
You're right.
But now, the government's, what are they doing with the school system? They're privatizing that now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now and that's the thing. Like if we stop Colin from speaking, we because the media already saying they already calling activists extremists,
right?
Black extremists. What Colin is doing is an extremist. Like they're looking at him.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he got so many death threats from this. Why?
But
he's
the
right.
Thing is, and it's not that he's right. And I mean, if I had one critique on Kaepernick, is that you're right, but what are you doing outside of the actions that you said you would do? Because as much as I hate to hear these racist motherfuckers go on and on and on about how, or these misguided ones about how, you should stand for the national anthem and all this, and you're disrespecting the military. Like all those other agendas that they want to do to just vilify a black man. I do have to say that it would help if he was as loud as he was when all those sports cameras were on him. It would help.
But he was going through that whole suing the NFL thing. Like you can't really say. And now he can say something. I'm sure.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. When we talk this corporate game and how the little people are suffering, whatever. It's like, you know what? If you were to play football, I believe this. And this is what I believe. This is Cam from the port saying what he believes as far as the Kaepernick situation. The two avenues it could have went. On one hand, he could have played at an exceptionally high level and talked all of his shit, because some people believe, and there is reason to believe this, because after he, I'll say acquired, I won't say acquired because then maybe that might sound like a transaction of some sort, but when him and his now, lady, when they get together, it was at the expense of one of his teammates, and he wanted to go to New York. So because he couldn't play for the Jets or the Giants, all of a sudden this became an issue. And so now some people are thinking that he just took that moment and flipped it into something that went too far. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% on that ship or not, but I just want that thrown out there to the people. The other thing is that, if you're really about the treatment, if you're really about the awareness of police brutality, this, that, and the third, why sue the NFL? Because honestly, your mission is now different than playing in the NFL. Am I wrong for thinking that?
I wouldn't agree with that there. Only because he's wrong, because the NFL is trying to silence him.
Are they?
And trying to, well, they are. What team is picking them up?
Again, I look back more to a production issue, not because
let's look at the production issue of the people that they picked up too.
Right? Yeah. No. Absolutely. Because my thing is this: there's some woman beaters, murderers, DUI guys who seem to make themselves back onto teams and to Super Bowls.
Ray Rice didn't because he
Right.
was old. He was older.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And literally we can equate that to age. Like, Ray Rice was he really like ever Barry Sanders? You know what I mean? Like, and I know people probably listening to this now because we ain't got no more video. And they're probably like, yo, this nigga Kev is fucking bugging. But I really feel that way about production because let me say it like this. To revamp a bar from Kanye West, the NFL don't care about black people. The NFL don't care about black people. They don't care about black issues. They don't care about the plight of black women. They don't care about the black family structure. They don't give a fuck about any of that or any of us. They want you to go out there, sell out stadiums, get endorsement dollars, get TV deals to get extended, get more money to their company, and shut the fuck up. And if you're not going to shut the fuck up, be great while not shutting the fuck up. Because if everybody was truly a hindrance, they would get rid of every black problem in the NFL. And I'm saying that goes all the way back to Warren Moon.
But then, if that's the case, then
Excuse me.
If that's the case, then why would they? If they don't care about no black problems, then now why are they going for Jay-Z? And for this, because we know what Jay-Z brings to the table. He's gonna bring Meek Mill. He's gonna bring Rhapsody or Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? All that to the table. Kanye maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that they're a family-friendly business, and the world is skewing to people of color. Like, we're coming up.
Absolutely.
I see it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna skew to us, then you gotta understand our issues. Now, look, this is what I will give the NFL. You've been running roughshod for 100 years now, doing it your way. Going in, making taxpayers pay for these stadiums, all that stuff. People are tired. People don't got time to watch the NFL no more. Like,
You don't have money to go to games.
And now we got money dwindling. We looking at what's going out with stadium. We just added some new stuff to the Bears stadium. What?
Right.
I'm paying for that?
Yeah.
I don't even like football.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, jobs. How many jobs is going out? And what they making? They probably making $12 and $9 an hour.
Yeah.
So you got to fight this fight. Yeah, somebody got to fight this fight. It always needs to be, if there's a President Obama, it needs to be a Cornel West. It needs to be a me or somebody that's criticized. Jay-Z needs criticism. It's going to help him. I know somebody's in his camp talking to him, and Jay-Z, he can disagree. That's fine.
And it's not that it's. I don't mind it being criticism. I do want to be clear on that. I don't like the surface level of the criticism. Like, for instance, now all of a sudden Jay-Z sold us out because his company is doing a deal with the NFL. So if I could just expound on a lot of the things that I was saying, like just on other platforms and on social media, it's a great deal for both parties.
You talking about Jay-Z and the NFL?
Yeah, I want to frame it correctly. It's a great deal for Rock Nation and the NFL. Somehow along the lines, we have this turn into the Rockers on the barbershop, where Shawn Michaels turns on Martin Jannetty, throws him through the glass, and then all of a sudden, like, he the man with Sensational Sherry in the mirror checking out how fine he is before he beats somebody's ass, right? That ain't this.
Okay.
This is Slim Jim working out the deal with the WWF and making Macho Man the guy in the commercials. Jay-Z's the Macho Man. The real benefit here is Rock Nation and the NFL.
No, we're not talking about no cap. We're just talking about the deal.
Right, just the deal itself. The deal works for both parties for this reason. The Rock Nation artist roster is so extensive. They just signed Megan Thee Stallion as well, but also like Meghan Trainor is on there. Like there's white artists too, but there's black artists on there. Black artists that may not ever see a stadium or certain arenas because they don't move the type of units that could afford that. However, their management company now, Rock Nation, who has this deal with the NFL, can make that happen. Like, it could literally be as simple as, the Detroit Lions getting a Big Sean show at halftime. It could be Meek at the NFC Championship game if Philly makes it, or Beyonce doing a show in Houston, and that'd be the only reason why for them to sell tickets. Because Beyonce is the halftime show for this Texas game that they're gonna fucking lose, whatever it is. That increased the artist's individual cachet, their resume, and it builds another audience that they may not have.
So it's a money grab.
Absolutely a money grab, and I don't want anybody to lose sight of that also. Because there's another thing of it. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Rock Nation's trying to sign some country artists. Maybe they're trying to acquire a Carrie Underwood or a Brad Paisley or a Luke Bryan or a Taylor Swift, even though she does pop now. It could be a move for that. Either way, the Rock Nation NFL deal is one of the priorities of it, even if they don't mention it, is to make sure that his roster benefits from it. And also, Rock Nation has athletes. Some of those athletes are in the NFL. I believe a guy named Odell Beckham Jr. is a Rock Nation sports client. I'm just throwing that out there too to y'all. I don't think Colin Kaepernick is a Rock Nation athlete. I'm just going to throw that out there too. I don't know that. So then you have that, right? How does the NFL benefit? Because it sounds like that they just giving a platform for artists that are maybe of color to do things that they probably wouldn't normally do throughout a year. Well, let's talk about that. I just fresh off of a few minutes ago saying how, the NFL doesn't care about anything about black people, black family structure, black anything. I don't think they give a fuck at all. They need an illusion because sales did dwindle. Jersey sales did go down. Attendance and viewership did lessen. And they know that the urban demo was part of that, a big part of that, because this Kaepernick thing was still not resolved. So, just much like George Bush, when Hurricane Katrina hit and Kanye sat in front of Mike Myers, a.k.a. Austin Powers, a.k.a. Wayne from Wayne's World, like George Bush doesn't care about black people, what did he do? He paused, thought about it. That's not true. I don't believe how he could say that. And now Michelle Obama's one of his best friends. It's not saying that it's insincere, but it sure does look good 15 years later from that comment. This is the PR move that they needed. And Jay-Z's smart enough to know that. It's like, hey, the hood ain't fucking with you. What you want to do about it? And I'm leading the charge. You want to shut me up too? Or you want to work together to prove that you really need to get some shit solved out here? And, and Roger Goodell's no complete idiot. They still let him be the commissioner, So he's like, you know what? No, I don't. And he's probably having the conversation like, look, I don't want it to be out there like I don't give a fuck about you guys at all, but this is just how this company runs. I mean, because think about it. Even when Jim Brown was on his shit in the 60s, granted, he never kneeled or anything like that.
Oh, he went. He stood up for Ali.
Exactly. And what did that do to his professional football career?
Oh, he retired early anyway. So
exactly. But that's the thing. And maybe he had hindsight to believe like, yo, they ain't even gonna let me get my shit off like I want to here. But he's one of those guys that even in the 60s, if he did it, they'd be like, but that's Jim Brown. That's the greatest running back I've ever seen in my life at this point where we are, in the 60s. They let that rock. Like, and he went on to do blaxploitation films and say a lot of shit that's unfavorable to white folks. And not once has his legacy been diminished or anything. I've met Jim Brown. Also at NFL Honors, and I was like, yeah, no, that's the man. Like,
he like 6'3", 6'4"?
Man, well, he didn't look at the day I met him.
Oh, yeah, he's a little older. He's probably okay.
Right.
I will say this, man. Like, look, I just don't think a bag is worth silencing somebody that spoke out on some real shit. Like they didn't have to do that, and they scapegoated him. You know, they made what Biggie say. They made his name sound like ass when you speak it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and it's like I said, it's many people on many levels going through this. And
Right.
I don't think Jay-Z should escape criticism because every bag, all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? And look, we gonna see. I know one side is waiting for the other to see.
Right.
You know, we play these gotcha games on Facebook. See,
day.
now he just did something for them kids in
Right.
Chicago.
Right.
Then see, the kids cut the kid's hair.
Right.
Now the kid come out. See, the kid say he was okay with getting his hair cut.
Right, because he
So
won. Right, you know?
we playing these gotcha games right now, and we divide each other. We got so many
Exactly.
other churches like this division that we do is just not church dividing us.
Right.
It's who we are as people.
Yeah.
And look, let's just be honest. Jay-Z, I care about Cap. I want this bag though. Like, look, I'm a businessman.
But
You know, and he ain't gonna skate it. I don't think he should escape criticism though. Like, we need to keep his foot to the fire because we love Jay.
Yeah.
We want him to do. We don't want him to get used and be a token. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And some of that stuff comes from people, you know, that don't like Jay anyway.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
and see now, but unfortunately, those are the loudest people.
right, and then someone like me who criticizes Jay get lumped into that group. You know what I'm saying? And I do it too. Like I would lump somebody that, you know, talk about women a certain way, like
Right.
into that, he's just a misogynist or whatever.
Right.
I do dumb, but we just meeting each other on Facebook on social media.
Right.
So we got to get through all this together. All this new shit. You know, the people getting shot on Facebook Live or
Right.
you know, we ain't never have to deal with that.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So we getting to know each other now.
Yeah.
And let's fight this out. But we shouldn't like just cancel each other.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you know, I don't think the criticism is wrong. We should, like Mr. C. I used to work for Mr. C at Walgreens. He said the illest thing ever to me.
The DJ Mr. T?
No. I want to work at Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
I'm never a DJ. My bad.
Damn, DJ, he went to
Yeah.
Walgreens? Okay.
But right.
Life happens fast, man.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But he told me, he gave me the illest bar ever, and I've been, somebody gave it to him, and that this is why I, you know, respect and accept all criticism of everybody, because he said, you know, one of my managers once told me, in God we trust, check everybody else. And literally, I was like, oh. You know what? So like he was like, so yeah, and this was all skimming in like, I'm sure your count is right for the safe and the drawers, but I'm gonna count it too. And it was like, because in God we trust. Check everybody else. He was like, don't take it personal. It's not like I don't trust you, but this is just what I do. And I was like, no. He was like, you know, recount it. Like it was just it was just a retail thing, but for just inventory, bank statement number, and it totally made sense because it's like, yeah, you know, whether I agree or not, let me still check in, because a lot of people love to say I agree and never do the knowledge, never check in. Never really do their due diligence to be like, yo, but this is why I really do fuck with it.
Right.
Versus why, oh, this is my man's. I'm fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. So like, now granted, if it's, and I feel about this, because if your logic about, if I agree with your logic of like, it can't be about the bag and it should not be about silencing people, then I think that no matter what happened with Colin Kaepernick's job with the NFL, he should never put himself in a position, aka a lawsuit and court situation, to where the point that he would be given any amount of money, whether it's 10 million, 100 million, 10,000, whatever, and then a code of silence. Because the thing is, I think he can still get off what he wants to say if his cause is truly genuine without the NFL. Because now you could essentially say he had made himself more famous than the first time he got to the Super Bowl. And I don't know why he hasn't made it a point to, you know, be a social media justice warrior or whatever you want to call it, even that. Like, even to that point, you know, like, where is his content? Speaking out about what you originally started as. police brutality, the mistreatment of black and brown people in the United States. Like, where's all that? Fuck, they won't let me play because I kneel. Fuck this lawsuit. No. Stick to your issue because your issue was important.
But he gave $1 million.
And again, right, he gave the money. He made the donations that he said he was going to do. That's fine. Where is the conversation though? Because that's the thing. The conversation is going down when people stop speaking, right?
But he's being silent. So who's like they're scapegoating him and changing his argument to something else.
But see, that's let the NFL be the NFL. He, as far as I know, there is nothing stopping him from getting on weekly, daily, to any social platform, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and still going with his original plight of, I would like people to protest in lieu of police brutality. It ain't gotta be kneeling at the national anthem. No, you can pick a new way to protest. You can pick a new way. He could start a whole movement. If fucking Lance Armstrong, if Lance Armstrong can get people to wear these bands and he really didn't even have fucking cancer and winning cyclist awards, you don't think that and nobody gave a fuck about cycling before Livestrong.
I just want to push back a little. I think that's a little bit of a false equivalency. I think what Cap is on the ground, like he's doing stuff with kids. From what I hear, from what I read, he's doing stuff on the ground. And I don't think you can trust the media because even though you got black people, you got black people in the media who would look at Kaepernick a certain type of way because he took the money, and you should look at it like I'm for putting Kaepernick. Like if Kaepernick want to take this stance, his feet go to the fire too. When you put yourself out there, like you put yourself out there like that, the criticism comes with it.
Absolutely.
Now with Kaepernick, I think he's doing the smart thing. Okay. You sue the NFL, you stay silent, you learn in the background. You get other activists. If you want to be part of this, you got to go through the fire. You got to learn. You got to have the change. You know what I'm saying? You got to read. You got to, because he said some stuff about Castro when he was playing. You know, and people
had
in
Castro shirt on.
Yeah, people heated his ass up for that. Right. Because Castro didn't, you know. But then that could be the American media version of how we look at Castro. The media is evil. Now, me and you work. Look, now we can go back to the ESPN thing, but the media has a sway, you know, and it's a mean sway too. Like it can end careers. You know what I'm saying? So someone like Kaepernick who doesn't have the production that you want, you know what I'm saying? They can silence him easily, but he keep fighting for it, and he fighting. And I don't know why he's fighting, but look, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a valiant effort. I think that, you know, you gotta break. The NFL has never been wrong. You can ask Al Davis proved him wrong one time. Yeah, you know, but I'm saying like they are like they ruling with an iron fist.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They're silencing players. You know what I'm saying? They're dividing us.
Right.
You know, and you see how Papa John's, you know, made that mistake with the, you know,
that trash ass
then went to go get Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody else just, you know, like they are running. I mean, the white people are running scared because they know the end times is coming for them to be ruling with that iron fist. We too smart now.
But the thing is, and if we are going to remain smart, we cannot remain broke in the process. That's why I don't have any problem with any of these companies who are, you know, whether we want to call it purchasing tokens, whether we want to call it, you know, damage control under the active PR. The point is that my daughter is going to grow up in the world thinking that, you know, Shaquille O'Neal is a 25% owner or minority owner of Papa John's. She's going to say, wow, the merger with the NFL and Rock Nation was done with a black guy that used to sell drugs and rap. Like, and I think if we're really trying to see the bigger picture of everything, like if we want to win this equality race, if we want our voice to be heard, then it's going to take people with money to do things that don't make sense to people that have not had the chance to experience the level of success, the level of earned income, and the long game, the marathon. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Of every situation, like we're looking at it, and you know what? It would be hypocritical of me to sit here and be like, yo, man, I really feel sorry for the little guys out there that just want, the standard, just, whatever the minimum wage is or above the wage. They want to make that and earn that and go home. When just a few months ago, I was in talks with a company in Denver about like, hey, you ain't got to hire 2 people. Just pay me 80 and I'll do that job for 2 people.
But then now you're cutting another person out that could be working.
And you know what? But the thing is, you know what I thought of though? I can't live off there with a family on $43,000. So I was like, so pay me. I was like, so pay me 80. I'll save you $6K, and another person that you gotta do inner paperwork with, insurance and all that. I ain't gonna lie, and I'll do it if I can, bro. Because you know what? I know what it's like to make 40 in any city. It's super fucking trash. I want to make more, and we live in the United States of America, built on capitalism and not communism, and I don't want to purposely step on people to get them out of the way. But it's like, hey, if I'm the right candidate for this, then why are you looking anywhere else? Just give me more of the work.
You said the right thing.
You know what I'm saying?
So I can sense a change is coming, I think.
Yeah.
I can sense it only because you mentioned capitalism and communism.
Yeah.
The fact that you even know what communism is, it's going to be a day, I think, where we all going to have to look up definitions and stuff. But even when you become the business owner that you are you going to pay people low wages and are you going to try to get rid of unions and like how fair are you going to be when you're a business owner?
I'll be extremely fair, but then also it'll be family businesses. Like, to be real,
would you pay your family?
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna, like. Honestly, I'd rather take 10 to maybe 25 people that can do a job really well, and we break that pie down 25 ways, versus trying to pay 1,000 people the best I can based on production.
And that's not how businesses are built, though. That's
not how corporations are built.
That's not how corporations are built, but that's not how small businesses are. Small businesses don't have the capital to pay people a great wage. Like, it's built within the system of capitalism.
It's, you know what? I think it is when I look at things like Pornhub. When I think it's shit like Vivid Entertainment, the kid that's 6 years old that sells fucking bow ties is a fucking millionaire. It does, to a degree. Like, now granted, I think the bigger question is, are we out to own and run businesses to be multimillionaires, or are we really in it to make a difference? And when I say make a difference, I mean make a difference in our family structures, because we all work to feed our families. What if I only want to hire my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, my children, my wife?
Nepotism. That's
right. Now, what happens 3 generations down the line? I don't know. I'm worried about the platform that I set, because you know what? Honestly, the world isn't built for the world to have generational wealth. I'm concerned about my family, and I don't mind being selfish in that respect. And that's why, again, that's also the other subdivision of stop trying to understand billionaire moves. Now, granted, $1 billion is enough to feed Jay-Z and Beyonce, Blue Ivy, and the twins. That's enough, right? So now
you can argue,
right,
in these times, because money is not even really real no more. It's just really the power and social capital. But go ahead.
No, that was exactly. We could say it's enough, but what if 2050 it ain't? And Blue and the twins are.
Thank you. If 2050 is not, and everybody in the same boat because money not really work. Your debit card ain't working no more, and we just let all these people at the top skate because we was getting the bag. And what happens to our brothers and sisters? Now, I'm not even talking about like your physical brother and sister.
Right.
I'm talking about the people that's all through here that's getting railroaded by a system that is not built for them.
Right.
We guessed in America's house as Lord Jamar.
Right.
We guessed in their house.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? They want us to be. They make us them by the factory schools, by their media. You know, they show us everything. When are we gonna stand up? And when are we gonna break it down to where we saying, look, you know, like we built this country.
Right.
We should have more say. They try to silence us at every stop.
Right, but the reason why is because we don't have enough money. And I'm just being honest. And
No, it's because they control the narrative on us.
Because they have more money. And I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, right? But hear me out. Like the running theme, like right now, even my son was like, you know, Martin Luther King died broke, and he spoke for us. You know, Malcolm X died broke. He spoke for us. We got rappers that died broke. Like people were so shocked that Nipsey Hussle had life insurance policies and his family was turning down money because they just assumed he died broke, or because mainstream media just got to him. And they was like, oh no, this is a new rapper. His debut album got nominated for a Grammy. They were assuming that he was just getting started. He had nothing saved and nothing planned. And they turned out to be wrong. That is the thing.
Excuse me.
Bless you. That is the thing that unfortunately is too constant. I mean, unfortunately, when we look at the landscape of right now, people will tell you that 10 black folks got, quote, real money. And then they would argue that less than 50% of them actually pour back into the community or even their own hometowns or even their families. I look at all of this as like right now, the game is the money game. And you gotta play the game to win. We may not be here for 2050. And then again, we could be here and be in destitute, and we could be here and be in Taj Mahal-like houses or castles.
And you know who definitely in trouble by 2050? That young pale skin.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta think, like, apply it to basketball. If the game is 21, what are you trying to do?
You're trying to win.
And you want to score what? 21 points. But then 3 more guys come, they want to play a pickup game, so now it's 2-on-2 to 11. Now what do you want to do?
I want to win.
You want to be with the guy, and together y'all want to score 11 to their 9 or less. You got to adjust to the game that's being played on the court. That's why I look at the Jay-Z move and I'm like, we don't get it because we see the last 3 years the NFL has been kind of like fuck us and fuck Kaepernick, even though the settlement, even though the bag, even though police brutality is still this, whatever. But it's like at the same time, it's like, but do you understand that Jay-Z doing this for Roc Nation, which is a majority, minority, ran and owned company, that it's setting up dozens of black and brown households with women in them to now feed their families better. Like, you know, is doing all the shit that y'all swear Mayweather should do when he was, you know, like with his $100 million fight, you know, purses and not spending it on 20 girls to twerk in one hotel suite in Vegas. You know, it's not what, you know, it's not the school in Africa that Oprah built that y'all felt Chicago needed or anywhere else. It's like, you know, if we're going to, I don't mind the critique and the criticism, but just make sure that it's guided correctly, because look at the roster of Roc Nation, the company. You don't see many white faces in it. Matter of fact, you see more hip-hop brands that have been in it that have more to gain than everybody has to lose from the media perception of what the NFL means. We have to be in a position where the only way that black folks can get money from the NFL is by being a ref or by being a player, putting your body on the line and then that's it. And if you don't do 10 years in the NFL, then you don't even get a certain amount of purse in the end. And you hope to make the Hall of Fame. And you hope you speak well enough and are intelligent enough or entertaining enough to be an analyst on ESPN. Like, he's trying to break that cycle because it's only a big deal, first and foremost, beyond all the stuff with Kaepernick. It's a big deal because, honestly, what other minority-owned company do they fuck with? And it's 2019.
I get what you're saying. And I do. Let me just kind of end this because I got one more question I want to ask you.
All right, go.
Let me just say this, and if you have a response, by all means. But so one of the reasons why I left ESPN because we were becoming digital.
Okay.
Which means the robots was going to run it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Which means the robots are coming.
Yeah.
My job is a robotic job right now. I'm sure. Like there's no human probably running Master Control 4. You know what I'm saying? And okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't like. At the end of the day, I feel like people gonna make millions, whether it's racism or not.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, I just don't think no white billionaire, no black billionaire should support silence. I mean, it's a slippery slope you're going down because when you gonna need us, we gonna remember that silence, and we gonna some silence just begets more silence.
Right.
And if we don't get up here and talk, if we can't speak our mind and say these people are treating us wrong, and we get the whole Tom and Jerry like media, whole thing that Kaepernick got.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a good move. Now we can see Jay-Z has grown so much from when I first heard of him to now.
Right.
So I mean, okay, Jay-Z, good. At 57, he might be a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a horrible guy. He's doing what the rules are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
He's playing the game to win.
he playing the game to win. All money ain't good money, especially when it comes to silencing, people that need the exposure. Because right now, black people are booming, but we not just all black people can't be no neoliberalist type people where we just like, get the bag, man.
Right.
Like everybody need to have money because the robots are coming.
Well,
It's taking out the truckers. It's gonna take out the lawyers.
Right.
But
you know what you gotta do? Now be the guy that can fix or build robots.
everybody can't do that.
You're right. You're right.
So now,
hey, yo, everybody can't rap.
So that means
everybody ain't got a 35-foot jumper. Everybody can't throw a 40-yard bomb to the end zone.
Okay,
a
well
lot
then
of people can't do shit.
And then why put the onus on money then? Because like, okay, good, you can have your money, but don't come messing with who we are as people. Like y'all got the money, and then it's police brutality still. Then it's all this other stuff.
Well,
just let us have our power the way we have it, because we don't really we need them, but we don't really need them.
I totally feel you, but you know what? I want to say this. I doubt that the NFL made Colin Kaepernick sign something that said he could not speak out about police brutality in general. Maybe, you can't slander us, but yeah, a lot of people have gag orders against companies. Like, I personally never signed one, but we know how that game is played. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Cameron said Jay-Z had got a gag order on him, and he was getting fined $100 if he ever dissed them. Yeah, gag order against a company. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. But that wasn't your cause, bro. That wasn't your cause. Your original cause was the NFL is fucking us over and we need to do something about it. No, that your original cause was I am kneeling in police in protest, silent peaceful protest of police brutality and the mistreatment of black and brown people by law enforcement. I don't think anybody has issued and made him sign a document stating that he won't talk about that. So with that, he needs to get the ball rolling. Feel how you want to feel about the NBA. It's a company I feel a way about. And you know what? I don't say shit on public platforms anymore. Because it's like, it might be affecting some money I want to make, and my daughter has to eat. And it's so like, and the thing is, fam, until he says that, And until he says, I'm not allowed to talk about police brutality and the mistreatment of black and brown people by law enforcement because of what I signed with the NFL, then I don't want to hear that.
But he's still talking about police brutality.
Is he though? Like, and I know like the key phrase was like actionable items. I know he's out doing his thing, but is he really using his platform that he built of purpose to keep this march going? Because protests, like Jay-Z is right. We are past kneeling now. We are past the silent and peaceful protest.
I disagree with that.
It is time to do something. It's time to do something. We can equate it to anything that we want in this world.
Yeah.
Like whether we can do it from like whether you want to achieve a business or if you want to have sex with this girl, you gotta get off the porch and stop thinking about it. Like you gotta when do we go through? Stop daydreaming. Stop your wet dreams. Stop jacking off. I'm gonna go ask this girl out for a date. She says yes or she says no. If you ain't never got there yet, then we stop talking. In a week, I don't want to hear shit about it.
Okay.
In a month, I definitely don't want to hear shit about it. You ain't asked that girl out yet? You ain't tried to fuck yet? What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you buy her flowers? Did you try to take her on a date? Did you do anything? No, we're still talking about what you want to do eventually? Nah, I'm not here for that.
Well, let me ask you this then. Could we at least, because it seemed like Kaepernick is getting, like people talking about fuck Kaepernick and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Can we give Kaepernick a little empathy too? The same empathy that you want us to give to Jay-Z, can we get it to Kaepernick to say, hey, look, maybe he's trying to say something here. Maybe something's going on. Before we just, like skate off on Kaepernick, like,
If I have clarity on his purpose,
yeah, just,
then I will.
Yeah,
Because I'll be real, I don't know it.
Right.
I don't
know Jay-Z
in 2019, but at least there's documentation supporting what Jay-Z is trying to accomplish.
And and Kaepernick already did what he's doing stuff.
But that's now 2 years removed.
No,
We're not.
he's been doing it. He's been doing it even when he's been doing it since he stopped playing. Since they didn't pick him up, whiteballed him.
but what I'm saying is that there's no extension. That there's no extension on the movement. Like where is it? Because are we supposed to kneel for 5 years? Are we supposed to just say, hey, we're still in silent protest?
No, I don't. I think there's actions going on, but now I'm speculating.
Exactly. See,
now I'm
that's the
speculating.
thing.
But that's only because I know activists to know what's going on in the courtrooms and stuff. But I'm speculating because I just know activists. I'm not friends with Colin Kaepernick.
Right. See, and honestly, I'll be honest. An activist moves versus how a former NFL player moves, I'm just saying I think they would be different. Because now he has all the time in the world. He has all the time in the world to make himself a prominent figure. I mean, hell, if Al Sharpton can still get out there with that bobblehead body that he has right now and is getting 6 figures, maybe even more, to get in front of CNN cameras and talk about some injustice. You don't think Colin Kaepernick, with the steam he had in 2016, can do that?
I think it's coming. I think it's coming. We'll see.
And
we'll
you know
see.
what? And people get off that train if it does.
And that's fine. But I think we need to get the same leeway we're giving to Jay-Z to Cap. If you want to wait and see for Jay-Z, let's wait and see for Cap too.
My thing is though, a transaction took place, an interview was done, an explanation was laid out. I'm not in the interest that Jay-Z was ever going to quote sell me out. I don't work for Roc Nation. I don't invest in the NFL to that degree. So I was never in the mindset that Jay-Z was ever doing me in. Never.
I mean, I just don't want Jay-Z to do business with them. That's my whole thing.
So if it was the Arena Football League, we good.
If it was NBA, I'm decent.
NBA, but no, if it was the Arena Football League.
If it's the Arena Football League?
Yeah.
I mean...
and even the pause itself explains why. Every move must be done with impact.
I don't know. I don't even know if it'll bother me. Like I don't even know if I even acknowledge it if it was if it was a Arena Football League.
And there you go, fam. That's
They didn't
exactly
do they didn't do
it.
cap. They didn't white ball cap though. In my opinion, I feel
Right.
like they white ball cap. I'm coming
Exactly.
from that with the NFL.
See, and unfortunately, there are sealed documents and the check that says we'll never know that information at this moment. At this moment.
But that don't make it right for what they did.
I'm not saying it's right, but if he was, I'll still stand by though. If he was just a tad greater, I don't think we're having the same conversation about
All right, let's agree to disagree. I got one more question to
No
ask
doubt.
you quickly. Who do you more see yourself represented as, Common or Kanye? Like as a person,
Yeah.
like if you look at
I mean, I honestly, even though I have been recently critical Kanye, absolutely.
I was gonna say Kanye too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I feel like you got more in common with. I'm not talking about
totally
mega
aware.
hat Kanye.
No,
I'm talking about
no, just the
2003,
I
2000.
think I'm great. I'm rebellious. I'm going to push myself to the limits to be everything I wanted and more. Yeah, absolutely. Defying the system, going against the grain. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know why I said I had another person, but I forgot, so I just thought of Kanye. But
Man,
anyway,
it's all good. That's all good, man. Hey, listen, man, I know we want to keep talking forever, man, but I know y'all been sitting here a long time. I ran out of video on y'all, man. The camera went out, but that's never going to stop the content. That's why we have the audio backup when we can get it. Hey, you've heard all of this. I ain't going to really, get into a whole soliloquy to end it. There's a lot of powerful thoughts throughout this whole conversation, and we never really got to the whole end game of what made Marcus start hating media, the love-hate relationship with media, but I think I got a lot of jewels and jewelry instead from there. So listen, you can be anything you want in this world. Please don't be a person that ages like milk or juice from concentrate. It's Camp from the Port, and we thank you.
thank you.